Welcome everyone. So today I wanted to show you my Kilgor setup and just give you advice in general how to utilize him the best way possible. So first things first, you will have to have some masteries logged on him. The only really important tool here is the tactics, which will give your behemoth and ogre some defensive boost. The other one is the healing effect. So this should be the main mastery you should lock on Kilgor, since he really relies on his ultimate skill, which is Unyielding Will. So the other two I have logged in is against all the Sandros, of course, and the Astrals. By the way, this mastery could be really useful on every hero you are using in PvP, but not essential for Kilgor. So as you can see, I'm trying to get a better mastery than Wisdom for like a month or so, but it just doesn't drop. So what you should be concentrating on is, let me search, is maybe expert water magic. That should be something that's useful. And I think maybe you can boost your units, maybe your Cyclops or Orc if you are using them in your setup, or you could boost your Rock with that caster boost, that expert sorcery. I'd advise you to wait for it and then use it. So that's what I'm waiting for as well. So next up is how to set up a formation for Kilgor. So I'm mainly using this setup. The reason behind it is that if you have a Kilgor and you want to use him in PvP, you should assemble a healing team. So Kilgor's ultimate is not enough for the healing aspect. You will need another healers in your team now. As you can see, I'm using Angel even though he is only at 3 stars, but it doesn't really matter because my server is fairly new, and Angel at 3 stars still can be a really overpowered unit. So that's why I'm using him. I've built a fairly good roster around it. It is just enough for an Angel, I think. So you shouldn't build a 6-man roster around your Angel because he is not a damage dealer, so he is mainly a utility unit, which means that at 3 stars his skills are already there. So that 3 random hostile unit stun is really useful, but this is why you need Angel. So he can resurrect one of your units. And the other thing is this Radiance. So when Angel is on the battlefield, all allied units are granted extra HP regeneration each 2 seconds, equal to 0.75 of their max HP. So this is really useful. This is a really useful skill as well as resurrection. So you don't need your Angel to be really high in power, because mainly the utilities are why you are going to use him. So yeah, it can be a laughing stock that I only have a 3-star behemoth and the main a Kilgor, but I'm already waiting for at least 3 or 4 months for a behemoth altar, but Ubisoft just doesn't want to give me that. So as soon as the behemoth altar comes up, I'll have at least 50k diamonds on behemoth, so he will quickly be at 5 stars at least. So Behemoth is essential, of course, because Kilgor's main specialty is Behemoth. It can really be unkillable once it reaches a certain amount of stars. I'd say 5 should be enough for a while, and really late game 6 is needed, of course. So you will have to use 2 tanks. I use Ogre Mage because my Stronghold roster is the most buffed one, and also my defensive roster is buffed. If you use a Kilgor, you must have a really strong Stronghold roster and a really strong defensive unit roster. So it should be easy to done these two, because all Stronghold units are free to play, as I mentioned in my previous video, and defensive units are, you can put anything you like here. I don't use Rampart, so I try to level up Dwarf and Android Guard as much as I can. Nor do I use Inferno, nor do I use Necro, so that's why all these guys are here. They are fairly leveled up, as you can see. It's not a bad roster for my power level. So as I said, you will, in my opinion, so guys, this is not carved in stone. I'm only saying this out of experience. Kilgor works the best with 2 tanks, so 1 Behemoth and 1 Ogre. You can use another tank like maybe Earth Elemental, since it's the best tank in the game, I'd say. But Kilgor doesn't really need 3 tanks, I'd say. I think, because your main goal here is to keep your Behemoth alive. Other units doesn't really matter. So to do that, I bought a genie at the start of the server, and just last day I managed to 6-star it. This unit is really useful in the Kilgor, in my Kilgor team. If I change it with something else, maybe an Ifriti, this would be a much more destroyable team than it is with Genie. So I'd say you need the 2 tanks. You will need Rock or Thunderbird once awakened, because he is a really OP unit. His ultimate can destroy 9-man units in a single shot. So keep that in mind. You will need a Rock. You will absolutely need a Cyclops. So listen to me, guys, because this is going to be important. As you can see, I left all these 2 lanes empty. That's only because my Cyclops right now can bear with even two charger units attacking him. So for the enemy, there is not really much chance. Their chargers will have to face Cyclops first. Cyclops is a really good tankish unit. He doesn't deal really too much damage, but it's not his main point. So he needs to be put like this, so he can stop the chargers, or at least take some time off the chargers while your team is facing a 6-man team of the enemy. If there are 2 chargers, if there are 3, of course there's going to be only 5 of the enemy team. So I really want to change my work to someone else, but I just can't figure out any better way. So goblins are my main damage dealers besides Rock. So most of the time goblins came out to deal the most damage in a fight. So this unit is really underrated. Once it's awakened, it will be even more powerful. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 units that is really essential in a Kilgor team. Now, if you don't have Angel, you can always try to put Pit Fiend in there, And if you don't have genie, then you can also put Ifriti for some more damage in there. And then as you can see, it's a full Inferno per stronghold team, so your roster shouldn't be causing you any problem. So Pitfiend is good for the healing, of course. Ogre boosts the healing of every unit, and Ifriti is just a really good damage dealer in this game. So I've seen a lot of people put 3 or 4 tanks in a Kilgor team. I just think it's really useless. You will need some damage. Orc should do your damage. Thunderbird should do some damage, and the Goblin should do enough damage. These 3 units can easily beat any other team. So I would advise you to focus on Ogre first, because he should be endurable enough to last the whole battle. Of course, Genie helps, but it's not really a free-to-play unit. Although, of course, you can farm it from the guild map. But the essential units are all really stronghold here. So Kilgor's ultimate not only restores HP for your stronghold faction units, but it also increases the friendly units' tenacity and their crit damage. So Magic Awakening works for Genie here, and they would work for Naga as well. But I wouldn't advise you to do to put another damage dealer in this team, because it's just going to be too much, and the healing factor is what you really should focus on if you are using a Kilgor. So I didn't see any other YouTuber do any stuff on Kilgor. Since I main him, it was really simple for me to make this video. So one thing I wanna add is okay, so let's show you guys a fight against a Sandro, which is a bit higher in power than me. I hope he doesn't have any buffs on, because that shouldn't be in my favor. So let's see. Oh, he changed his team. Okay, let's see the first run, what's going to happen. So as you can see, there is a white. Oh, that's not a white. All right, let's see how I do against this Sandro. So let's see the stats. Thunderbird did the most damage, of course. And surprisingly, Cyclops did really well here. Of course, Goblins weren't that much of a problem for a Sandro. I should have swapped it with a Bone Dragon or some one-man unit. Orcs were dead in 46 seconds, so maybe I should have swapped it with a Giant. But overall, I took the victory, so it doesn't really matter. So another thing I want to show you that's really important in a Kilgor formation is that, as you can see, Undead Army is not equipped for me. So it took me a while when I found out why I was losing to some people. It's only because if you have Undead Army equipped and you have a Genie in your team, the Genie will focus its healing on the summoned skeletons. I don't need them alive that much. So I figured if I just enable the undead army artifact power, my team was doing much better. So Jeannie focused her healing on the units that needed to be healed, not the summoned skeletons, which aren't any useful to me. So since I have a Cyclops to stop the chargers, so once I got rid of the undead army, then I really started to shine in the PvP. So guys, this game is really complicated, and you should really focus on everything, so you can't just miss out on the artifacts, because that can cost you the match. So analyze your gameplays and try to be better from it. That's really going to be it for this video. I wanted to show you my Kilgor setup. As I said before, I've never seen anyone do a Kilgor utility video. I hope it was another filler on YouTube, and see you next time. Bye.